Okay. Alright. Um, alright. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You make me feel like I'm in Australia. Alright. The honourable staff of the Consulate General of Australia, who are now in Lombok, Ms. Jess, thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak here. I'm speaking to you all as an alumnus of the Australian Development Scholarship and as a part of an organization that has received a substantial amount of financial and moral support from the Australian government. First, I'd like to say that I'm very honored to be granted a chance to study in Australia, to have that master's education experience. But other than that, I'm mostly grateful for the changes that have been happening to me in that process, and the changes that enabled me to bring impact to the people around me. And I am now currently an English teacher at the University of Mataram, and our goal is to prepare the future English teachers for Indonesian secondary schools and other settings. When I studied my master's in Australia, I was very lucky to be at the University of Adelaide, because there I was given the complete freedom to pursue a school of thought that is now underpinning the theory of, it is like the current education system, the current English learning system in Indonesia is underpinned by something that was developed in Australia. So I was very lucky to have that experience, a very relevant study experience. And I always tell my friends, I usually have a chat with my fellow teachers, yes, England, English was born in England and then popularized by at some point in the United States. But if you want to be an English teacher, you go to Australia to study a master's degree in teaching English as a foreign language, because it's the most relevant. They have relevant institutions to really give Indonesia the kind of knowledge that we need to shape our English language teaching. So University of Adelaide has been a very rewarding experience for me. And to some extent, to my fellow alumni, to some extent, we all have fulfilled and manifested what we wrote in our application years ago. And in my case, I have not really. What I wrote in my application letter is not happening now. I wrote that I wanted to be an ICT trainer for teachers, but then I was trapped in a situation where I went back to my village, and then people sort of like expected me to do something more. And then I was trapped in this situation. I had to do a slightly different way, following a different path. And there we founded Jagger Foundation. It's a community learning center in central Lombok, and for Ruli students, we have been having a very warm relationship. Students from the Ruli programs, they visited foundation several times, hanging out with the kids, talking in Indonesian and English. And we do many things. We study English. And yes, that's how we study English. And we have 7 classes like this now, thanks to the support from many parties. Next. And we also have some camp. And our this year's camp is happening for the 4th and the 5th of February. So if you guys want to come, you're invited. It's in Central Lombok, 30 minutes away from here. And we also planted trees. It's our annual event. And it's just a regular class. And we have been teaching English for 3 years now, every Thursday and Saturdays, all powered by volunteers mostly from the University of Mataram. And one of our programs that has been funded by the DAP, the Direct Aid program, is called Jagger Charity Shop. It has nothing to do with Mick Jagger. No, it's just our name, Jagger Foundation. It's a bit It's just nice to call ourselves Jaggers. It's a simple thing, really. There's nothing revolutionary about what we do. We just collect some stuff, donated stuff like clothes, and we just clean them and we sell them to low-income earners. And the money goes to those who need. Some high school graduates who cannot continue to university level. We give them in the form of scholarships. So, like Salvation Army stores in Australia, we don't have that here. So maybe our dream is to make maybe hundreds of Salvation Army stores. We don't have that here. So maybe it's a start. The DAP program, the Direct Aid program, has enabled us to build a permanent shop in Central Lombok. And if you come tomorrow with us to Lombok Tengah, to Central Lombok to visit our shop, you can shop crazily and bring your Australian money, because we might charge you in Australian dollars if you buy our clothes. We open twice a month, depending on the amount of clothes we get from the donors. So I believe that somewhere in your wardrobes you have used clothes, pre-loved, and we want them. We really want them. We want to have those clothes and clean them so we can sell it and give it to, as in the form of scholarship, to the high school graduates who cannot do university study like what I did. So this way they can improve their life, and not only their life, the quality of their family life. I think that's the other effect of it. And the Jagger Charity Shop has been there for 2 years, and we are now helping three undergraduate students. They are now in the first semester. We are still very young now, and we need constant support from everyone. So we're applying for TAP this year, and I hope we get it and really give us next chance. Yes. Right. So these mothers, they come to our shop, and they spend their money on clothes for their husbands and kids, and we call our volunteers the young Jaggers. They are the youth from the village who manage the shop. They are constantly being asked, when is the next sale? Do you have the new stock coming in? And Mama needs a new dress, that's what they say. Our goal at the Jagger Charity Shop and Jagger Kastara Foundation in general is for us to be a laboratory for civic engagement and community service. And we want to play our part in making Indonesia a better place through a critical approach on education, an education that sharpens our intelligence, strengthens our will, and softens our heart. I guess that's it. Thank you very much.